Good morning, everyone. Hello. Welcome in, everybody. I am pumped for today, Ted. I am. Welcome, everyone, back to Adobe Live. Thank you so much for sticking around and joining me for challenge number 2 of the Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge. How is everybody this morning? I see Mia and Sam, Viola and Sean and Janice and Megan and Steve, Festus Casaboom, the man with the name. Ken, it's good to see you. Alejandro, hello. I believe I saw Alejandro's work in the Discord, which I am going to highlight because I was so impressed. We are going to pull up the Discord today and kind of go over all of the challenge entries, or as many as I can this morning, and kind of highlight you folks because I am so thrilled with everything that you folks posted. I am going to go over first, however, how to get involved in the Daily Creative Challenge with me. I should probably introduce myself too for those of you who are brand new to chat. My name is Voodoo Val, and I am going to be your host this morning, and I'm super excited about it. So I do want to flip over real quick because we have limited time, and I want to make sure that we can get through our challenge, as well as show off all of your guys' challenges. So also, Eric Sue, welcome in. It's good to see you. Andreas, hello. And Cody Bear is here too. Hello, Cody. It's good to see you. Hello, Ariana. All right. So I'm going to pop over here. Ta-da! If you would like to get involved in the challenge with me, if you would like to participate and join the Discord and see where everyone is posting their work and everything that's going on, you can go to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop, and you'll know that you're in the right place because we'll have the September 28th through October 9th date up at the top. You guys can hit this big blue button that will have you sign up. You'll receive your challenge every day via Creative Cloud notifications. Basically, you'll be registering for the challenge so that you get a little notification every day, which is really nice. You'll have your 1 through 4 for how does this work, and it basically explains that every day we will have a challenge unlocked. If you guys were here for the welcome day, or if you guys were here yesterday, you'll notice we have new challenges up on the challenge board here, and all these other ones are locked, but as their dates approach in the mornings at about 8 a.m. Pacific time, they will be unlocked, and you can come and read them, what they're going to be about. You'll be able to hit this get started button so that you can get the files that I have created for you to participate. And then if you need to come back and watch the video, if maybe you are checking out the stream after everything is over, you can always click this button and it will bring you to the VOD, so you can watch me create and do the challenge so that you have a little bit of guidance while you do your own. Frank, what's up? Frank? No, it's Frank, isn't it? Frank, welcome in. It's good to see you. Julio, hello. Sad you got to go back to work. Well, I'm glad that you came in to hang out for a little while. Christina P, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Suzanne, welcome in. Chad, it's good to see everyone. Hello. Rockstar Val is here. I just have my hair down, guys, and I am wearing leather. But what's up, Malik? What's up, Rico? Okay, so for today's challenge, it says Magical Potion. Obviously, we are getting spooky with these challenges. I made you a promise, and I intend to keep it. Use selection tools, blending modes, and shapes to cut out a transparent object, and fill it with a magical concoction. So this is actually a suggestion that I took from the Discord, which I'm going to drag the Discord over here so that we can take a look at it. So we have a place in our Discord, if I can actually, there we go. We have a place in our Discord down here where it says challenge suggestions. So people come in here and they suggest things that they would like to see on the challenges and things, and I like to come in here and take a look at what people are posting and what folks are looking to learn. And so I made sure that I saw several people saying, hey, can we learn how to cut out transparent objects? So I tried to make that into a spooky challenge for you. And we also have our challenge entries from yesterday. Man, these guys are just killing it. We made ghosts yesterday. And all of these look so amazing. I just love these. I really did want to highlight the Christina diagonalese here, because it looks like Christina even, not only did she make this girl into a ghost, but she also, it looks like, did the content aware fill or stamp tool to kind of bump her up, and then make her a ghost like floating through the air, which I just think is so cool. Alejandro, this is his original that he posted, and then his ethereal ghostly form standing here in the dark, which is amazing. And I just think everybody did such a great job. And I've been looking through here. I'm gonna stick around today and give a little bit more feedback, but I did want to highlight some of your work just so that everybody hopefully can get kind of a little spotlight on the stream this morning. These are so neat. I really like this one, Viola. This is like horrifying and great. I don't know. I love that you can see like kind of a superimposed like version of her face kind of pushing out here too, and it's just really, really cool. So you guys have done, oh, we got the original too. Wow, it's very different. This is awesome. Is that you, Viola? But everyone has done a great job. I wish I had time to look through every single one. This is awesome. This is great. I wish I had time to show every single one on the stream, but I don't, because we have to jump in to what we've got planned. So I am going to pull up my Photoshop and remind you, we had that Get Started button on the landing page. And if you have not clicked that already and you want to follow along with me, please do, because this button here will lead you to where you can download this file. And it just says challenge number 2. It's got the little description from the challenge page. It's got the image credit. And now we're going to select and remove a transparent item from the background. Now, this is something that is really, really difficult to do if your transparent item has a bunch of objects or scenery or something behind it that you can see through your work, or see through the transparent item. And I realize that some people may want to, I guess, select a transparent item over a busy background. You're going to have a lot of difficulty doing that. However, if you have kind of a solid background or a soft background, even if there were soft gradients and everything behind this, it's still something that is doable very cleanly. And so I've given a sample image today so that we can practice this, but I made sure to make sure it was not a very busy image, because I don't want everyone to kind of struggle through this, because for some of you, I know this may be a first kind of using these tools for today. So it's going to be a bit of an easier one, but then once we cut it out, we're going to fill it with a potion. So should be fun. Also, if you're over on YouTube, please come over to the Behance chat, behance.net/live, because that is where I am reading the chat. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the select and mask feature. There's a lot of ways that you can select things from the background. Aside from select and mask, you could do like a subject select, but since this is supposed to be a transparent kind of thing, it doesn't really work. So subject select, it gives me like a pretty darn clean version of this glass, but it would have all of the gray behind it, which is not what we want. I guess technically you could also go to, let's see, select and color range if you wanted, and you could select some of that, but it will also select everything in the background depending on how you go about that, and that just takes a whole lot of extra cleanup. So select and mask is going to be what we use today. If you want to get your select and mask window open, all you have to do is make sure you select a selection tool, and it will be up at the top, usually next to subject select or select subject. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the select and mask. And what I have here for my view set is overlay. If you want to drop like a solid color or something back behind your piece, you can always say like on black or on white, or figure out whichever one of these is best for you. I personally like overlay because it just makes everything red. I can see my image very easily as I'm masking, and I can tell what I have masked and what I do not. I am going to keep this selected on like my main selection tool, and I'm going to leave my brush small. I have here kind of a like a standard brush, and then as I just kind of like drop in and start drawing here. This can be done with a mouse as well, by the way. I am using a stylus because I have one and I'm very comfortable with a stylus as a painter, but you do not have to use a stylus. So you can see I kind of go through here and I select this, and that's really clean. It's actually very, very clean and super impressive. How clean it becomes. I can hold Alt here and I can like cut teeny tiny pieces out of the edges. I can zoom in here and I can, oops, I can kind of come around the edge here and add a little bit more to my selection, which works like so. And that looks pretty good, but we also want to make this transparent. So I'm going to come up and make sure that I have my edge selected here properly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my second tool here, which is the, I believe that is the Refine Edge brush tool, or you can hit R on your keyboard. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my cursor a little bit larger, and I'm just going to kind of draw on the inside here, and as you can see, it starts to make it transparent around the edges of my glass. And so it takes a little noodling to get it clean, but as you can see, it doesn't really erase the edge of my glass. It only erases the white, like from the center there, that I really wanted. So you can kind of zoom in here and you can see I've got all the lines and everything from my glass, which is awesome. And it kind of depends like how this is going to turn out. Also, you keep in mind, it also depends what kind of image you're using. So we are using kind of like a dark, ominous glass for this image. So if you find that after you make this selection you do want it a little bit brighter, we can always brighten it later, or you can also experiment with using different images of different glasses. I just wanted to make sure that we definitely had one for you to start with. That was more of an easy start instead of trying to say, hey, here's a super detailed image. I'm going to need you to cut this glass out and do it perfect on the first try. Yes, channels also would be an excellent one for this as well, Sean. Very good. So I am going to, actually, I think I'm going to leave it like this because we're going to use a mask as well. Now, one thing that I want to point out when it comes to doing this, so I've got my glass selected the way I want. This suits me. This works for me just fine. Now, another thing that I want to say is you can come in and you can smooth or feather or contrast and do all this stuff. You can mess with these settings in here if you like. Version of this on the initial layer. You can output it to a new layer, which it will basically take this thing that we have masked, it will separate it from the background, and it will put it on a new layer. I prefer a new layer with layer mask so that I have my original image, but then I also have a separate layer that is masked that I can work with, which is what I will do. But you can also do new document and new document with layer mask. So I'm going to select new layer with layer mask and hit OK, and check it out. So I have my layer here in my layers panel, and then I have my version of it here, which works, and everything's masked, everything's transparent, everything looks cool. And now the next thing I'm going to do is play with this mask a little bit, because I've got this bottom part of my my glass stem here that I really don't like, and I'd like to remove it. So with my my actual mask selected, you notice you can select the image here and you can select the mask. With my mask selected, if you remember from previous challenges, if you draw in either white or black, you can add and subtract from the mask. So I am going to hit B on my keyboard to select my brush. I'm going to make sure I've got kind of a sharp round brush here. I'm going to make sure I'm selected on black, and I'm going to come in under here and I am just going to mask away the stem remainder part here that I don't like. And I'm trying not to be too precious with it because we are limited on time. but it works. That works for me. It doesn't have to be extra special today. I'm gonna go back to white, and I'm gonna clean up this edge here because I want this edge to be nice and crispy, you know. And it's really up to you how you want to do this part. Some of you may be working, like I said earlier, with different images that maybe mask a lot cleaner than mine did. So you may not have to do this part, but I definitely want to, just to keep things clean. And then I'm just going to come through and scribble this out right there, and now we have our glass, which is awesome. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this in a scene. Now, I did not add a image for you guys to use as the background because I wanted you to hunt for an image yourselves. I can show you the one that I am using from Adobe Stock. You guys can check out Adobe Stock, or if you don't have access to Adobe Stock, you guys can check out places like Unsplash, which is where I've got some of the images for the challenges. But I have got this stock photo right here that I'm going to drop in. And I am going to expand this just so it's kind of a spooky scene, you know, just some place it's a little bit dark and moody. And I actually can double click here, and with my text tool I can actually put this on the screen for you here. Let me select a regular kind of font, and I'll make this white. And there's the item number for from Adobe Stock if you'd like to check out that. That should be there. Okay, so we have our little scene put together, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this with a potion. And so it's actually fairly easy to do. I'm going to make sure that I am selected on a new layer between my glass and my background. And I am going to use my shape tool, just an ellipse shape tool. I'm going to select kind of a weird green color, I think is probably going to be kind of neat. Let's do something light. And I'm going to drag an ellipse out. And notice as I do this, if I can, let me release that. Notice how I've done this at an angle because I want this to look as if it's like the surface of liquid in this glass. And I'm going to make sure that I line it up with the inner edges of the glass, which that looks really good actually. And then underneath that, I'm going to use my pen tool by hitting P on my keyboard. I'm going to select a slightly darker green color, like so. And I am going to use the pen tool to create kind of a curved fill for this glass. Oops, oops, oops. That works. And then I'm going to bump that down a little bit. I'm holding Alt whenever I go back to edit these points, by the way. So if you find that you want to edit another point, you can. All you have to do is hold Alt. You can hover over. If you hold Control, you can select a point that you've previously added. And then you can hold Alt and kind of maneuver it around, or just hold Control and drag it around, whatever you decide that you want to do. So I've created a shape. The shape does not have to be perfect. The basic idea is that I am filling it with a slightly darker color so that everything looks like I've got something in this glass now, which is actually exactly what it looks like, and it's pretty cool. Now, because my image was a little dark, it does give me some strange shadow here, because the lighting situation in this image that I have started to kind of composite together is different than the lighting situation in the original image that I used. And if you decide that you do not want certain things like that, like after you start kind of adding things in, if you feel like I do and you're like, you know, I think I'd like to change that, all you have to do is go back to your mask, like I'm going to. I'm going to select a soft round brush, and I'm gonna kind of just, with my brush on a lower opacity, I'm just going to kind of brush this out. I'm just going to remove a little bit of it so that it's not so crazy. And then what I'm going to do is actually, you know what, I might add a tiny bit of that back. Let me put this on like a very low opacity. Just add a tiny bit of it back, just a little bit, because I do want some of it. There we go. Okay, and then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to group those two shape layers that I made. I'm going to call this potion. And I'm going to get fancy with clipping masks because it's, okay, we've got our liquid in our cup. That's cool, I guess, but it needs to look more like something sinister and creepy. So what I'm going to do is make a new layer, set that layer to a clipping mask. If I can, where is my, there we go. I'm going to grab my gradient tool. If you can't find your gradient tool, it is right behind your paint bucket tool. And I am going to snag a darker green, and I am going to darken this. So now you can see I'm kind of working with the image that I'm using. Now it is a little dark on this bottom piece, but if I can alter my my potion a little bit, I can kind of make it work, which is nice. So I've got like this darkness to my potion, and now what I'd like to do is add a texture. So I'm going to just go into my libraries because I know I have some interesting textures in my libraries. You guys can use paper textures, you guys can use noise textures, whatever you want, but I've got this funky watercolor texture that I like pretty well, and I'm going to put this on a clipping mask also. Create clipping mask. I think we only just have a few minutes here. Ooh, that's supposed to be clipped to the potion, not the cup. Okay, create clipping mask. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna size this down a little bit just so I get a lot of the texture, and I'm gonna put this on a blending mode. I think multiply actually looks pretty darn cool. And then if I open this, another thing that I can do is I can create another layer within my potion group, also set that to a clipping mask. I'm going to grab my brush with kind of a yellowy color maybe, and I am going to I might maybe even brighter than that. I just want to kind of brighten the surface of this a little bit so it really looks kind of creepy. So I have like a magical potion inside of a glass that I cut out of another scene. We can, if we want to add a bit of a shadow, maybe I will grab an ellipse here, and underneath my cup I can create another shape like so. Make that black, and then let's see, I'm going to position this underneath my cup like that. I think that works, and I'll go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Let's just rasterize it because it doesn't need to be extra fancy. That actually is enough blur for me, I think. And then I'll turn it on a lower opacity so there's just some shadow underneath there. That's pretty cool. I think maybe I will expand this just a little bit so that it's not right there in on the edge of our table, which is fine. And normally I would spend a lot more time on all of the details here to kind of make it look a little more realistic. I might add some shine on the edge of the glass and all that kind of stuff, but we don't have all the time in the world. I do have to take off, but I hope that you folks have enjoyed this creepy little tutorial. I know that I don't know how many situations you guys are going to need to fill a glass with potion, but I promise to make all of these spooky, so not only are we cutting out transparent objects, but we're making potions. I really appreciate everybody joining me. Thank you guys for coming to hang out. Please stay tuned because there is a huge full packed day of awesomeness coming up after me. I'm not the only person who's going to be streaming on Adobe today. So please stick around. Thank you, Sam, for posting the links to the challenge register page and the Discord. Also, thank you for posting my Behance. You guys can totally check out my Behance. There's going to be some super spooky stuff coming up tomorrow on the Behance if you'd like to check it out. So much love, everyone. I will see you later today, actually, for the design off.